of the day. This is Miss Tabassum. Today I am here to talk about Anindya Mukherjee's solo bicycle journey across the Sahara. So let's get started. Here goes introduction to the author. Anindya Mukherjee is a mountaineer and adventurer. He is interested in exploring wild places and mountains in not only Asia but other continents too. He is also a freelance adventure travel writer. Across the Sahara on a bicycle is a travel journal. A travel journal is also called a road journal. It is a record made in a diary form by a traveler of his or her experiences in the course of the journey. The genre of travel literature consists of guidebooks, nature writing, and travel memoirs. In February 2017, Anindya Mukherjee from Kolkata started cycling the Sahara Desert, the largest desert in the world. He made a record by covering more than 2300 kilometers in 28 days on a solo bicycle journey across the African wilderness. Here are excerpts from the first person account of his journey. So let's get started. I first visited Africa in 2005 when I hiked up Mount Kilimanjaro. This got me so interested in the continent that I wanted to go back again. In 2011, while exploring the Nanda Devi sanctuary in the Himalayas, I learnt that one of my Himalayan heroes, H.W. Tillman, had cycled all the way from Kampala to Cameroon along the equator on an old bicycle in the early 1930s. I made up my mind to do something similar. Here, Anindya Mukherjee recounts his experiences cycling across the Sahara. He first visited Africa in 2015 when he climbed up Mount Kilimanjaro. He was so obsessed with the place that he wanted to revisit the continent. While he was exploring the Nanda Devi sanctuary in the Himalayas, Anindya came to know that Mr. Harold William Tillman, who was an explorer and a mountaineer and also whom Mr. Anindya Mukherjee idolized, cycled all the way from Kampala to Cameroon in the early 1930s, and thus Mr. Mukherjee was also very determined to do so. Here, I would like to mention that Kampala is in Uganda, that is in Eastern Africa, and the distance from Kampala to Cameroon by road is 5,444 kilometers. In 2012, I set out on a bicycle from Nanyuki in Kenya to Walvis Bay in Namibia, where I covered 5,000 kilometers across 5 countries: Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, and Namibia in 69 days. I absolutely fell in love with Africa. I also realized that the vast expanses of West and North Africa were still unknown to me. In 2017, I chose to explore the north and northwestern side by cycling through the Sahara Desert, starting from Morocco and finishing in Senegal. So, in 2012, Anindya began his journey on a bicycle from Nanyuki in Kenya, that is Eastern Africa, to Walvis Bay in Namibia, which is in Southwest Africa. While exploring in his bicycle, Anindya covered 5 countries, that is Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, and Namibia. The distance that he covered was around 5,000 kilometers and it took 69 days for him to do so. He was very much obsessed with the vastness of Africa and he wanted to explore the vast expanses of West and North Africa. So, in 2017, he finally made up his mind to explore the north and northwestern side by cycling through the Sahara Desert. He first started his journey from Morocco, which is a North African country, and finished it in Senegal, which is in West Africa. The plan. After some research, I figured out that the best bicycle route through the Sahara would be the Morocco Western Sahara Mauritania route. It was possible to cycle this distance of approximately 2085 km without carrying any camping gear, as one could travel from one settlement to the next in a day. I realized that I only had to carry 4 to 5 liters of water during the ride each day. I was also aware of the fact that I wouldn't be able to fund the trip all by myself. So I decided to take help from my friends and gathered funds through crowdfunding. I also put in my savings. All this together took care of the cost of the flights, visas, bicycle, gear, food, and so on, which wouldn't have been possible otherwise. Mr. Anindya Mukherjee first made a plan as how to execute his journey. But very soon he discovered that he won't be able to arrange the funds that was required for his bicycle trip across the Sahara. So he decided to take help from his friends and also collected money from a large number of people, especially via internet. He also put all his savings, which could meet the expenses of the flight, visas, bicycle, equipment for staying outdoors, food, and so on. After few observations, Anindya was also able to make out that the best route to travel by bicycle through the Sahara would be the Morocco Western Sahara Mauritania route. He also found out that he could cycle the distance of 2085 km even without any camping equipment. But later he realized that he need to carry nearly 4 to 5 liters of drinking water while on his expedition. He also mentioned that his journey wouldn't have been possible without the financial help of his friends and the amount raised by crowdfunding. The route. I originally intended to start cycling from Rabat, Morocco, but visa complications forced me to cut short my riding days and I started my ride from the city of Guelmim called the Gateway to the Sahara on 27 February 2017. I had exactly 17 days to cover 1300 km to the border before my Moroccan visa expired and then a mere 10 days to cover 989 kilometers across Mauritania. The race had begun. Mr. Anindya Mukherjee actually planned to start cycling from Rabat, Morocco, but his visa complications compelled him to reduce his days of cycling, and he began his ride on 27th February 2017 from the city of Guelmim, which is known as Gateway to the Sahara. He had exactly 17 days to cover 1300 kilometers and only 10 days to cover 989 kilometers across Mauritania before his Moroccan visa expired. And he says the race had finally begun. That's all for the day. We will be continuing the remaining part in our next class.